Okay, so I think we've probably discovered that the Pixel 7, 7 Pro don't get the best battery life in the world. But I'm going to fix that. I'm going to show you how to get better battery life with your Pixel 7 or Pixel 7 Pro phone in just a couple easy steps. I'm going to show you how to go into the settings and turn on and turn off stuff to optimize the battery life for your phone so that you can get better battery life than your friends when it comes to your Pixel 7 experience. What am I talking about? No more rambling. Let's get into it. First things first, we want to go into the settings. We're in the settings now, so what we'll do is we'll go to display. Display is the first thing that I really like to look at so I can show you what you can do here to maximize your battery life. First thing we want to talk about is brightness level. Now, you can use adaptive brightness. And what adaptive brightness does is it automatically adjusts the brightness on your screen based off the ambient light, based off of basically what it's like around you. If it's really bright, then it's not going to have the brightness up super high. If it's really dark, then it'll boost the brightness up a little bit so that you can see better. So that does it automatically. It changes. It's supposedly supposed to be the best way to get better battery life on your phone. But what I can tell you is that doesn't always work, and adaptive brightness hasn't been the best with the Pixels. I leave it off, and then you could always just adjust it, and maybe if you keep it at 50% all the time, you're going to get pretty good battery life that way. So that's one thing. Another is the screen timeout. So this right here is actually really important. When it comes to smartphones, the biggest battery user in the phone is the screen. So if you're using the screen all the time, it's going to burn up more battery. If you can cut some of that out by having a screen timeout that's sooner, mine's always on 5 minutes because I use it. I record videos all the time. If I had it on 30 seconds, then I would be messing up my videos all the time. So I keep mine on 5 minutes, but 1 minute or even 30 seconds is probably pretty prudent. It turns that screen off so that way you're saving battery instantly as soon as it turns off. So that's a good one. Also, we have dark theme. So you can use light theme. I actually kind of prefer light theme, but when you have light theme, it takes a lot more battery power to display all these white LEDs versus a neutral black color. So it has to work harder, use more battery. So if you have it on dark mode, then you're going to save battery there too. And then also we have screen resolution. Now, some people say this may or may not make much of a difference. Well, if you have it on Quad HD Plus, normally the popular thought is it burns up more battery to display all that extra resolution, especially when you're playing games, watching videos, stuff like that. So if you put it on high resolution, you can actually see there's not even that much of a difference in the changes on the screen, but it doesn't have to work as hard, so you should theoretically get a little bit better battery life if you have it on 1080p instead of the full Quad HD Plus 1440p. So we'll get out of there. Here's another one, smooth display. So right here, this is at high refresh rate, and it changes variably, automatically goes from 60 to 120 hertz in between, throttles down, stuff like that. This definitely burns up more battery. So if you have it on, then you're going to burn up more battery. If you don't care about the 120 hertz, if you're happy with the standard 60 hertz, turn it off and get the extra battery life. And that right there should probably give you at least about an extra hour screen on time, at least from my experience with most phones. So that's an important one. So you can have that on or off. Next, we're going to go down to battery, which actually is up. Once we get into battery, you want to look at a couple of things. So you have battery saver right here. If you turn battery saver on, you can schedule it and you can have it turn off when you're charging. You can do extreme battery saver mode. Mine, I have it for never because that basically locks down most of the stuff on the phone. But if you're worried about it, you can turn on battery saver and it turns on dark theme, restricts background activity, and delays notifications till you're on Wi-Fi or you have more battery. This helps with the incoming outgoing of data for stuff you're not really using to maximize your battery life. So if you feel yourself start getting low on battery, you can turn that on. And then if you really need the extreme battery lifesaver, you can turn it on. And this right here, basically you can have it where it will still run certain apps normally, but this is extreme battery saver. And it basically, like here, use it in critical moments. Extreme battery saver pauses most apps and notifications. Select your essential apps so you don't miss important notifications or messages. And what it does is it turns off some features that may use more battery, like Wi-Fi, hotspot, some network connections, certain features like Hey Google, and background activity. So that right there, you can turn on and have where some essential apps still work normally or send you notifications. But by and large, it kind of restricts the activity on the phone. That's one of those ones where, like, look, if times are getting really hard, you're down to 5-10%, whatever, that's when you might want to consider using that, especially if you're not going to be near a charger anytime soon. Also, when you look at battery usage. So you can look at battery usage right here. And then if you want to see a breakdown for the whole day, then you can look at system usage past 24 hours. So scroll down and hit that arrow. And this right here will tell you screen on time, phone idle, system UI, basically what's kind of been using the battery. And then if you want, you can look at it on a 2-hour block basis, and it'll tell you basically how long you use these different apps. So one nice thing too is when you see these apps are used heavily, you can go in and tap on it, and then you can go in and you can make more modifications. So manage the battery usage for each individual app. And to do this, like I said, once you're in battery usage, you just click on what it is. So click on Twitter, and then here you can click on restricted, and this restricts battery usage while in the background. So if you're not actively using it, it really cuts off the access to the app. It's not being used in the background. It's not downloading stuff. It's not transmitting data. It's not burning up your battery. So you can have that on optimize, where basically when you use your adaptive battery, and once that gets set up after about a week of using the phone, it kind of knows when it should and shouldn't use stuff. But if you want to be more advanced and proactive, you can put it on restricted. Or if you use it all the time and you really don't care about how much data it's using or battery, you can have it on unrestricted. I use Twitter quite a lot, so I don't want to put that on restricted. But yep, those are just some things that you can do here to give yourself better battery life. I know some people also talk about you can go into like the system settings, developer tools, and you can turn on and off some more stuff. I don't really like to get into that. There's things that you can mess up in there. I'm not going to show you. Maybe I'll make a more advanced video about you can mess with page flipping and animations and turn those off. That can also give you some battery savings, but I don't want to go into that on this video. And then your adaptive preferences under battery here. You can do this too for your adaptive battery. And this right here, make sure you have that on. If you have it off, then everything's just kind of free range, willy-nilly. The battery, like, it never really kind of learns your patterns or what it's doing. And this right here, when you turn it on, it'll extend your battery life. Adaptive battery may reduce performance and background activity. On some notifications, those might get delayed as well. It just kind of learns everything, where you're at, what you're doing, pays attention to your surroundings, the performance, how often you use apps, and it kind of controls how the phone treats them and uses them, so that way you can get the best battery life possible. So those are just some really big tips and tricks for how to get the best battery life on your phone. All right, so that's all I've got on my tutorial on how to get better battery life on the Pixel 7, Pixel 7 Pro. I thought this video would be helpful. I thought it would be helpful very soon into my process with the phone, because the phone is not getting the greatest battery life. And even after giving it a full week, I'm still not getting otherworldly good battery life. And maybe it has to do with the processor, maybe it has to do with the software, maybe it needs to be tweaked. I don't know. All I know is that I'm just not getting great battery life, which means I'm sure you're not getting great battery life, and I wanted to fix that. And I've made a lot of these videos in the past showcasing and showing people how to get better battery life on their phones. So I wanted to take the time to make this video because I think it'll be helpful for you and anybody else who watches it, so you can extend the battery life and get a better overall experience on your Pixel 7 phone, because one, it's a great phone and you deserve to have it last all day. So that's all I've got. If you have any questions or comments, then please go to the comment section. I'll get back with you. If you enjoyed this video, if you found it helpful, if you like these kind of videos, especially if you like the Pixel content, then please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And I mean that because I put out videos every single day. If you don't want a video every day, don't hit the notification bell, because you're going to get tired of all the notifications. It happens, really. So that's all I've got. As always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.